Thank you, Mr. Scattergood, for being such an inspiration.
Thank you, Mr. Bradford, for inspiring me to be the best human being I could possibly be.
Hey, I want to thank my kindergarten teacher, Dixie Smith, for being the best teacher ever, and she's also my mom.
Thank you to Miss Golding, the teacher who taught me how to read. Thank you to my high school English teacher, Miss Hermosi, who really got me into storytelling. And thank you to my college professor, Jeff Campbell, who started me on my storytelling journey.
Thanks, Miss Mary Helen Haynes, for all that you did. I really appreciate you being a teacher.
Thank you, Mrs. Donna Smith, my first grade teacher, for your support with reading and learning and making it fun. I remember sitting on the little carpet squares and everyone having their own book, and it just made it fun and interesting.
Thanks, Mr. Bullard. I'm actually using the stuff you taught me.
Thank you to Mrs. Kelly, my second grade teacher, for reading Ramona and Beezus to us. I still remember exactly how she sounds reading that book. Thank you, Mr. Tedley, for introducing me to science and a love for learning science. And thank you, Mr. Sizemore, my high school history teacher, who taught me how to love learning and how to take a great essay test.
Thanks, Mrs. Schmitz, for being an awesome science teacher and inspiring me to do amazing stuff in my life.
I would like to thank Miss Jane Blackerby for my math teacher when I was in junior high, and then Miss Dorothy Roundsville, who was my accounting teacher.
I'd like to thank Coach Denise Brown for instilling in me my love of mathematics.
I would like to thank Mrs. Karen Lilly. She was my calculus, can't remember what other higher maths, but pretty much I took them all. She helped us with our AP calculus, so we didn't have to take business calculus once I got to college, and she did that on her own time, along with teaching an alternative form of American Sign Language to the high school also on her own time, because she had a deaf daughter, and so that more people can communicate with her. So thanks, Karen Lederle from Conroe High.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Catterich, my fourth grade teacher. I moved around a lot, and Mrs. Catterich was the first teacher I had at a new school, and she just made the whole year special. I will always remember her. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Ms. Sharon Clemens and Ms. Karen Dyer, my band directors in high school, for teaching me leadership skills as the drum major of the high school band. They were great and inspiring, and Ms. Clemens always had a good song for us to sing in her beautiful voice. Thanks.
I want to thank my ninth grade English teacher, Miss Gorman. She was probably only 4'11" and the scariest teacher I ever had, but also the most wonderful teacher.
I would like to say thank you to Dr. Robert Krinke at Sam Houston State University.
I'd like to thank Mr. Carter, my ninth grade algebra teacher, for making algebra almost fun.
Thanks to Mrs. Randall, who was always there for us, and thanks to Mrs. Bruni, who's teaching the future generation.
I'd like to thank Mr. Wynn, who's retiring this year, for making learning fun and letting me take his class even though he's my dad.